Good morning, boys and girls. I wanted to do today's read aloud, which is called One of Three. It's by Angela Johnson, pictures by David Soman. And we're going to talk a little bit this week about compare and contrast. So that just means if I look at the cover of the book right now, I see three girls on the cover. Maybe they're sisters. The girls are all different, but I think they might be different ages too. So it's basically when you look at this book, I want you to think about the sisters and how they're alike and how they're different. Okay. Also, we're going to be talking about our comprehension strategy is monitor and clarify. This just means if I read something that confuses me, I'll think about what I already read or reread it to see if it makes sense. If it doesn't work, I'll keep reading to see if that helps me. If I ask myself a question, I can try to answer it. So as I read the story, I want you to stop and think of something that maybe doesn't make sense. And then together, we're going to try to figure out things that don't make sense in the story. Okay, so let's give it a shot. We're one of three. And this is our table of contents. We have one of three today, which is realistic fiction. And realistic fiction, do you remember what that is? That's right. It's a story that could have happened in real life. So we're going to listen to the story and we're going to decide whether we really think it's realistic or if it's fantasy. Okay? And here's our book, one of three. Since I can remember, I've been one of three. Eva, Nikki, and me. One of three sisters that walk to school together, down the street together, one of three in the sun and the rain. I'm one of three that lives in apartment number 2, has long hair and brown eyes, and I can sometimes play hopscotch by the trash cans if I ask for a long time. On Saturdays, I'm one of three that sits outside the bakery and looks and smells and smells. That would be me. I'm one of three that squeezes into the taxi on snowy days with Mama, Aunt Sarah, and Grandma, and it's warm in there. Do you see what they're doing in the picture? Remember, she was talking about the taxi being warm, and now look at what they're looking at in the store. Looks like they're looking at some coats. And there are the girls. It looks like they're on a subway. I don't know if anybody has ever been on a subway before. If you go to a big city, usually that's how people get from place to place. I'm one of three that likes the subway, the people on it, and the way our feet hang over the seats. I'm one of three who lives over the flower shop. Mr. Lowen still gets all of our names wrong, but he gives us each a daisy every time. We walk down the street like stair steps, and I'm in front. I wonder what that means, stair steps. I'm going to look at the picture to help me. And it looks like the girls, the way they're moving, they're like from smallest to biggest, or if you go biggest to smallest, they actually look like stairs. Like they're moving on the stairs. And stairs go that way. They go from smaller to bigger, or, short to tall. Just kind of like the girls right there. Uh-oh. Sometimes Eva and Nikki say I'm not invited to go with them. Not to the park, the store, or sometimes even a walk. I'm left behind. Not one of three, just one. Then Mama calls me sister and says I'm too little to go there and do that. Or maybe I just want to help her paint or to read. Daddy says that I have to be the baby sometimes and keep Mama and him company just sometimes.